What are you watching?
What are you watching? Elodie, le film!
The sun was setting on my long-awaited holiday, and I had just arrived at the Crowne Plaza Surfers Paradise, eager to unwind and treat myself to a well-deserved break. But little did I know, this supposedly luxurious hotel would turn out to be a nightmare. As I entered my room, I was greeted by the eerie sight of non-functional TVs, a plague that seemed to afflict every guest who dared to venture here. Can you imagine paying top dollar for a room, only to find that the most basic of amenities doesn't work? It's like buying a car without wheels, or a phone without a screen. What's the point, right? The frustration was palpable, and it only got worse from there. The air conditioner, a necessity in this sweltering heat, was as useful as a chocolate teapot. It refused to turn on, leaving me to sweat buckets in this sauna-like environment. I felt like I was trapped in a never-ending cycle of discomfort, with no escape from the heat. And don't even get me started on the heater, which seemed to have a mind of its own, turning on and off at random intervals like a mischievous game of hide-and-seek. But what's a hotel room without a nice, hot bath, right? Wrong. The bath, advertised as a luxurious corner spa, was nothing more than a standard tub. Can you imagine my disappointment, my friends? I felt like I had been lied to, deceived, and robbed of my hard-earned cash. It's like buying a ticket to a sold-out concert, only to find that the headlining act is a bunch of toned-up amateurs. Heartbreaking, to say the least. And then, there was the Wi-Fi, or rather, the lack thereof. It was like trying to access the internet through a dial-up connection, circa 1995. Frustrating, to say the least. I mean, what's the point of having a smartphone if you can't even get online? It's like having a sports car without wheels, a beautifully crafted vehicle that's incapable of movement. But hey, at least the pool restaurant was nice, right? Wrong again. The service was as slow as a snail's pace, leaving me and my friends waiting for what felt like an eternity for our food to arrive. And when it did, it was like they had taken a page out of a cookbook from the dark ages. The food was as unappetizing as a stale sandwich left in a dusty pantry for months. My husband, poor guy, got sick after eating there. Can you blame him? And don't even get me started on the gym. It was like they had raided a thrift store and cobbled together a bunch of broken equipment, hoping that no one would notice. The pool, advertised as a stunning oasis, was nothing more than a small, murky puddle of water. I felt like I had been catfished, my friends, plain and simple. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why didn't you just leave? Well, my friends, it's not that simple. I had already paid for my stay, and the thought of finding a new hotel, in the midst of my holiday, was as daunting as climbing Mount Everest in stilettos. So, I was stuck, trapped in this never-ending cycle of disappointment and frustration. As I lay on my bed, staring at the ceiling, I couldn't help but wonder, is this what luxury looks like? Is this what I paid top dollar for? The answer, my friends, was a resounding no. This was a scam, plain and simple, a cleverly crafted scheme designed to part unsuspecting tourists from their hard-earned cash. So, I ask you, dear friends, have you ever had a similar experience? Have you ever felt like you've been taken for a ride, promised the world and delivered nothing but a steaming pile of disappointment? Share your stories with me, and let's commiserate together. After all, misery loves company, right? But in all seriousness, dear friends, it's high time we take a stand against such establishments. It's time we demand better, demand to be treated with respect and dignity. Because, at the end of the day, we're not just customers, we're human beings, worthy of so much more than the subpar service and amenities that places like the Crowne Plaza Surfers Paradise have to offer. So, let's raise our voices, dear friends, and let the world know that we won't be taken for granted. We won't be scammed, we won't be deceived, and we won't be disappointed. We deserve better, and it's time we get it. Okay, so I was, looking into stuff that happens around Crowne Plaza Surfers Paradise, you know? Because people go there for holidays, and it's not always sunshine and rainbows, unfortunately. It's kinda sad, actually. First, businesses around here, especially the smaller ones, they seem to, well, they get targeted a lot. There was this group of women, always with kids, going into the supermarket on Chevron Island, which isn't right by Crowne Plaza, but close enough for a quick trip, right? They were stealing groceries, over $100 worth. But the owner saw one of them with a ton of $50 notes stuffed in her bra. Seriously? If you have that much cash hidden, why steal pasta? It's just So unnecessary. They probably went back to their rental, near Crowne Plaza maybe, and had a really fancy dinner with all that stolen food. The store owner, he probably had to raise prices a little to cover the losses, and everyone ends up paying for it, you know? I bet the police probably looked into it, but with kids involved, it's always complicated. They probably got a warning or something, honestly. Then, there are businesses that are, like, more upscale. There were reports of them targeting luxury goods stores, stealing expensive heels. And, get this, they'd also go to restaurants and cafes, make a huge mess, trash the place, they said, and then scam them out of food and wine. Hundreds of dollars, just gone. Can you imagine working at one of those places, near Crowne Plaza, hoping for a good day, and then having to deal with that? They probably felt so helpless, just watching it happen. The scammers, they probably moved on to the next place, laughing about it. They probably thought they were clever. And the restaurants? They probably had to increase security, and maybe even hire someone just to watch for those groups. It makes me so angry, you know? Like, people deserve to have a nice time, especially when they're on holiday near Crowne Plaza. It just makes you think, doesn't it? You plan this amazing trip, you book a nice room at Crowne Plaza, and then you have to worry about getting scammed while buying groceries or eating dinner. It's awful, really. I bet a lot of tourists just don't report these things, they just write it off as a bad experience and go home, which is so sad. The dark side of businesses near Crowne Plaza Surfers Paradise. If you're staying at Crowne Plaza Surfers Paradise, dreaming of convenience and quality, prepare for disappointment. The business is nearby? A masterclass in mediocrity. Let's start with shopping. Pacific Fair Shopping Center should be a paradise, instead, it's a parking nightmare. Visitors describe exits like a scene from a disaster movie, 45-minute waits, scanners failing, rain turning the chaos into a soggy standstill. And if you think shopping itself is safe, think again. Receipts? They'll demand your email instead, because nothing says trustworthy like a business that might sell your data. Food court prices? Astronomical for what one reviewer called fake menu photos and absurd prices. Even the security guards allegedly profile guests, with one Asian visitor reporting blatant racism. By 2:20 p.m., kitchens shut down early, as if the staff has a secret escape tunnel. Now, spas. Endota Spa Surfers Paradise? More like Endota scam. Guests report bait-and-switch pricing, $510 charged for a rushed, smelly towel massage that ended early. One woman's pregnancy massage became a horror story when sick, nauseated, and forced to attend or lose her deposit. Therapists? Distracted by relentless upselling, cutting into paid time. And if you dare complain? Dismissal. No refunds, no apologies, just a corporate vacuum sucking while it's dry. Hungry? The lazy Lobster serves seafood so questionable, diners suspect it's been frozen since the Ice Age. Prawns smell off, lobster tastes like rubber, and one anniversary dinner ended with diarrhea. Even the fruit isn't safe. Slimy melon chunks served with a shrug. For $150 a plate, you'd expect edible food, not a gamble with your stomach. Cafes? Bumble's Cafe's high tea is a tragedy. $500 for stale scones, an edible quiche, and desserts so bad, guests used coffee saucers as plates. Flies swim in chai lattes, and the owner's response? That's disgusting, then silence. Regulars mourn its decline, once charming, now a dusty, overpriced relic where staff forget orders and glare at customers. Nightlife? Sin City nightclub treats guests like nuisances. $20 entry buys zero charm, just rude bouncers, card surcharges, and security confiscating IDs for fun. One autistic teen's 18th birthday was ruined when a guard pocketed her ID, leaving her in tears. Drinks? Overpriced, with discounts forgotten unless you beg. The vibe? Depressing, with staff dressed in lingerie but radiating misery. Even bottle shops fail. The bottlers' meals taste microwaved, and staff act like you're interrupting their nap. One visitor's girlfriend was shoved by bouncers, because nothing says welcome like assault. The verdict? Businesses near Crowne Plaza Surfers Paradise share a theme: apathy. Whether it's scams, stale food, or hostility, expect to overpay for underwhelming service. For travelers? Research alternatives, or pack a lunch. The only thing thriving here is disappointment. Cue ominous music. Fade to black.